First took a long break, and then now we're on something new. So we just moved forward, and for us that chapter is close.
Sven Vinke, the head of Larian, basically just put all the rumors about DLC for Baldur's Gate 3 and rumors about them doing a Baldur's Gate 4 to rest.
No, I can't.
What it isn't? What it is?
Well, it's not Baldur's Gate 4. It's not Dungeons and Dragons.
I understand there will be disappointment because people fell in love with what we created, but it was a story with a beginning, middle, and an end, and it doesn't need more.
They're gone.
Larian may have moved on from Baldur's Gate 3, but the modding community is just getting started. Every day, new and inventive mods are being added to the NEXUS in an attempt to sustain our unhealthy obsession. There was one recently that caught my attention and ultimately led to the making of this video. That mod is Trials of Tav, a roguelike mode. In true roguelike fashion, it gets rid of the entire storyline, allowing you to mainline Baldur's Gate 3's phenomenal combat system. You'll fight progressively harder enemies round after round while being rewarded points for your victories that you can then use to upgrade your characters. Now I figured if I mixed this with all new races and all new classes, it should feel like an entirely new game. Or better yet, it'll feel like the DLC that we're never gonna have. Of course, it was incredibly fun and totally reignited my passion for this game. So, without further ado, let's see if I can make my own Baldur's Gate 3 expansion. My adventure begins by creating my character. For the first race, I've got one I've been wanting to try for some time, the Cambion Half Demon. Its race bonuses start with Shapeshift, Dark Vision, and of course, the ability to fly. Starting out with practically double move speed is pretty broken, but come on, it is just too cool not to use. For my class, I'm playing a homebrew called the Death Knight. I guess this is supposed to be a class from World of Warcraft that was skillfully morphed into a mod. You start with a few spells and a few different class features that work as resources to power your spells. We'll get into the nitty-gritty later on. For now, let's finish making our character and start our roguelike adventure. As soon as I spawn into the Nautiloid, a prompt whisks me away to camp where Withers is waiting. Using the Custom Companions mod, I don't need to buy hirelings, and instead can create 3 other custom characters. Out of the 4 class mods I downloaded, this next one is by far my favorite. It's Ghastly Ghouls, playable undead race.
Look at those White Walker looking ass eyes, I love it.
I mean, just look at all these different diverse and immersive undead characters you can make, all with lore accurate race bonuses. Marked for Death looks incredibly powerful, so we're going with the white.
And then, look at the exposed cheeks. Kind of wishing for a different exposed cheek, if you know what I mean.
I can't possibly face hordes of enemies without having a healer, so for her class, I'm choosing another WoW homebrew called the Priest. Much like the Death Knight, the Priest relies on resources to cast different spells ranging from Holy Fire to healing. Thankfully, I can change the head around as well and went with this sort of decorated skull. My third custom character's race is the jovial and adorable Satyr.
Yeah, how cool is this? Look at the legs, man. The legs are crazy, in the face with the nose and everything, it looks so good.
Of course, it comes with some race bonuses, with my favorite being double jump distance. To add even more flavor, I'm making this character's class a Harlequin. This one is also a homebrew and incredibly interesting. Think of it as a chaotic evil carny, using psychic damage and rogue-esque methods to take down its enemies. For my fourth and final character, I'm making an Aasimar, also known as a half-angel. This race of course starts with the ability to fly and a ton of really cool halos you can mess with. I had envisioned this character to be some sort of angelic smith, so for the class, I went with a fan favorite, the Artificer. It's pretty much just a wizard with an engineering degree. With my party finally complete, I simply click the Leave Camp button and proceed to my first round of combat. Each round has an initial turn with no enemies that I assume is meant to allow for buffs and positioning. As soon as you're ready, just pass the turn. This first fight is obviously a cakewalk. The Artificer uses his angelic wings to fly over and stick a bolt right between the goblin's eyes. After that, the Harlequin calls him a mean name, ending his life and completing the round. Since no one died, we're able to double our rogue score, which is used as a gatekeeper of certain powerful upgrades. The end of each round also dispenses some loot, which appears to be completely random. Now, for some reason, my recording software is unable to see the upgrade menu, and I think it's because it's treating the menu as a completely separate screen. This is what it's supposed to look like, and these are all the upgrades that we have access to. Feel free to pause the video. We have our rogue score here at the top and the number of available points to spend on upgrades. But in almost all of these recordings, it's just not there. So when I say I buy an upgrade, I guess you'll just have to trust me. The round only dropped one weapon, but it's a great replacement for the starter weapon on my Death Knight. Without enough points to really buy anything, I moved to round 2. Since the mod treats these areas as arenas, I'm noticing now just how important flying and other movement abilities are. Using catapult from 5e spells, the Artificer easily kills the first goblin. Since the rounds get progressively more difficult, an imp spawns next. My Death Knight's weapon does extra damage against undead and fiends, so I wrap things up with no notable loot at the end. Wanting to save my points for later, I move straight to round 3. 4 enemies stare us down, with one of them having a pretty decent health pool. I finally noticed my character's Death Grip ability and thought I'd give it a try. The ability to displace an enemy and stun it, all for only a bonus action, is way too powerful to be given at such an early level. Maybe at like level 10, but it's clear this class needs some proper balancing. Let's break down how the priest works, because honestly it is one of my favorites. The class starts out with 5 holy power. To use a spell like Holy Fire, it uses holy power as a resource. Restoring this resource is pretty easy. You only need to cast one of your weaker cantrips, whether that be healing or dealing damage over time. At higher levels, this becomes a beautiful dance of managing that resource to heal your companions whilst also controlling the battlefield. The Harlequin is almost killed in just one hit, and I realized the Booyog should probably be our priority. The Artificer almost kills it, and on its next turn, Holy Fire finishes the job. The Aasimar has a race ability called Radiant Consumption, and I'm interested to see what it does. Of course, it's utterly broken, and I use it to help finish off the round.
Okay, that seems a little too broken to just have Moonbeam on fucking cooldown or once per long rest. That's kind of crazy. Let's wrap this up. Nice. Big damage. Okay, so we actually got a lot of stuff here, and everyone got a level as well.
Once at camp, it's time to level up. The Death Knight gets a new ability called Scourge Strike, and a fighting style to go with it. The Harlequin gets a new cantrip and a class feature that increases walk speed, whatever that means. The Artificer gets a new spell slot and the ability to infuse items with magic. These are the infusions I chose, with the Homunculus being my favorite. The Priest gets a whole new set of cantrips and a subclass feature that heals her when she heals others. Now that we've got a decent amount of points, let's spend them. One of my favorite upgrades is the 10 random items, where it does exactly what it says. It just spawns 10 random items on the ground. There's some interesting loot here, but nothing too crazy. Time to move to the next round.
Okay, so we've got a goblin boss and a kobold. Okay, no problem, no problem. Nice. You big idiot. Okay. Ah, okay. So I use these different abilities to get this kind of stuff back. Dude, this character is going to be a lot of fun. And let's use our new repeating shot on you and on you. Cool. Ah, he's attacking my spider. No! Oh, and it stacks. Dude, he's dead. Look at this arrow of humanoid Spellcrux amulet.
With some extra points to spend, I buy a few of the characters their first tadpole powers and distribute the loot that we got at the end of the round. It's time for some more combat.
Dude, I'm having so much fun right now. I cannot begin to tell you how much fun I'm having. Okay, yes, so we were... Ooh. No! What? What was that?
Thank God for that stun ability, because this was almost the end of the run right here.
Holy shit, I did not know that that's what that did.
For some reason, the computer spawned an owl-bear mate, but it immediately died. No idea what that was about. Thanks to the priest and my bevy of potions, I was able to stabilize the team and finish the round.
Come here, you son of a bitch. Come on. Nice. Foe breaker. Ooh, I'm excited for that.
Now, instead of continuing to showcase the mod in these classes, I instead want to urge you to actually try this for yourself. The roguelike system and the tons and tons of class and race mods add at least 30 plus hours to the game, and it's literally free. It costs you absolutely $0 and only a smattering of your time to piece the mods together and reignite the spark we all experienced the first time we played. I have links in the description for all the mods used in the video, and honestly, there are tons more you could add to make things even more interesting, so go crazy with it. There's also a link to a video on how to mod Baldur's Gate 3, and yes, it may seem intimidating at first, but it's so easy you'll kick yourself for not doing this sooner. As always, be sure to endorse the mods that you use. It really helps out the authors, and they deserve the recognition for all the hard work they do. To the console players out there, I know you're suffering, and my heart goes out to you sincerely, but hang on just a bit longer and mod support will arrive before you know it. Huge shout out to the members for supporting the channel. Members get access to perks like additional uploads and early ad-free access to our regular uploads. I've got something special coming for members next week, so there's no better time to join. Check the description for more details, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.